Welcome back, my beautiful teenagers, to your high school survival guide. Today I'm going to be talking about the sexual humiliation that high schoolers go through, okay? So, this might be one of the most important conversations we're about to have on this channel because a lot of teenagers experience sexual humiliation, whether they're the ones sexually humiliating people or you're a victim, right? And no one ever explains what it is, no one ever explains why it happens, or how to avoid it or recover from it. So, what is sexual humiliation? That is when someone uses your dating life, appearance, body, rumors, gossip, private information, screenshots, photos, or assumptions about you to embarrass you publicly. The goal is to make you feel humiliated, damage you socially, make you feel ashamed, and the end goal is to make you KILL yourself. Okay, that is the goal. Because when you've been a victim of sexual humiliation, your mindset is so low and dark that you're gonna do anything to get rid of the pain. So the goal is to KILL yourself. So sometimes it's a rumor, sometimes it's a screenshot or people exposing your sexual private information, or it could even be a lie. But whatever it is, it's to make you feel small and embarrass you and KILL yourself. So why does this happen so much in high school? This happens a lot in high school because high school runs on social status. You don't have it, like I said in previous videos, you don't have anything going on outside of school. So only thing people care about is reputation, who's popular, who's dating who's attractive, who's being talked about. Like, that is just what life in high school is. And unfortunately, some people learn very quickly that sexual rumors are the fastest way to attack someone's reputation. And not because the rumor is true or anything, but they know that people will listen and they know that people will repeat it. And the thing about sexual humiliation that's so vicious is, like, when you're a teenager, sex is still kind of intriguing and you're still kind of interested. That is why people get so obsessed over what their peers are doing, because it's something that's so, like, woo woo, you know? So like I said, the goal is to get you into a dark place, ruin your reputation, make you feel isolated, make you feel like the world hates you. And they want you to be insecure, they want you to be uncomfortable, they want you to walk around the hallways like you stink, basically. Because when someone feels ashamed and they're in that dark place, you can ultimately dismantle them, right? And that's exactly what people want. So one of the most painful experiences in high school is realizing that people are discussing you, especially discussing things about you that you've done privately, and it kind of makes you feel very insecure, and it makes you feel like why is this happening to me? So I want to tell you guys how sexual humiliation actually starts. So a lot of people think that sexual humiliation starts with like a photo or something, and sometimes it does, but honestly, it starts with information, attention, trust. A lot of girls, they tell their friends their sexual business and what they've done with the boy and vice versa, right? And that ends up getting into the hands of someone else. So I want you guys to equate telling your personal business as ammunition. So from now on, I want you guys to understand that anything that you tell someone is ammunition. You have to ask yourself, like, okay, this information I'm telling my bestie, if we were enemies today, is this something I want her to know? You have to really start looking at people like that. And same for guys. I just told my boys this happened. If we were enemies tomorrow, is this something that I would want the group to know, right? So a lot of people, they'll hold on to information, especially in high school. It's such a fucking weird place because people will they'll be your real friend, but they'll hold on to that information you gave them, and then as soon as y'all fall out, which most relationships do when you're a teenager, they're gonna air out the clip. They're gonna tell all your business. So that is how the sexual humiliation starts, is just by having information. People can't destroy you unless they have information. So stop telling your business. And like I said, this applies to friends too, because rumors do not start with your enemies. They start with your friend. You tell one friend, that friend tells another friend, that friend adds details, and that one tells someone else. And suddenly your whole private life is high school information. No one deserves your personal business, okay? And like I said in a previous video, parents, teachers, adults have not done a good job at making teenagers aware of self-preservation and how to be private. So sexual humiliation affects boys and girls differently. Usually when you're a girl and you're a victim of this cruel situation, you're oftentimes labeled as these disrespectful names, and people are talking about you badly. They're just talking about you like a dog, right? But usually when it comes to guys, you're like the boy now. Like, you're the boy every girl wants in school. Like, you're just so cool now. You got pics from so-and-so, or you did this with so-and-so. Like, it's cruel and it's sick, but that's just the real reality. And I want you guys to be aware of that. So let's talk about how to avoid it. The last topic I just said was keeping your personal business to yourself. Definitely be private. Keep your business to yourself. One of my biggest regrets was telling people my business. And when I was in high school, I really didn't even tell people my business like that. I didn't even have like that many friends. I always had like a big group of people around me, but I never had any friends where I was just like on the phone with. But I did have one best friend. We were friends from like freshman year all the way till senior year. And like, that was my bitch. Like, that was my bestie. And I remember when we fell out, it wasn't her who told my business around the streets, but it was her friend. I guess she had told her best friend situations that happened to me. And when we fell out, her best friend was the one who ended up like airing out my personal business. And a lot of it was lies, but because we were friends for so long, people were like, oh no, like, she got tea on her. Like, she knows her like that. So people were hearing my personal business, and it was fucking crazy. And honestly, my whole high school was people in my personal business. Looking back, like, fucking fans. But yeah, just keep that in mind. Also, be careful about sharing pictures, sexual pictures. Like, I don't know, if I could tell you guys anything, I would say don't do it. Like, if he wants to see your butt or something, like, let him see it in person. But I don't believe in sending pictures, especially in high school. There's too much proximity. Like, you're in school with the same people every single day for too long. And I feel like if you do send a picture, it's just gonna get out. So protect your fucking face hard. If you're gonna send pictures, which, like I said, I do not recommend, do not do it. Protect your face. Don't ever think for a second, if you're in high school and you send booty pics to a guy, or, PUSSSY pics or TITTY pics, that he is not going to share to his friends. Like I said, sex in high school is something that's still very woo-woo, and it's intriguing. So if you're the girl that's sending those pictures, it's gonna get out. And this is not me victim blaming at all. Now, I do want to clarify, if you send sexual pictures to a boy and he spreads it into a group chat or sends it to someone else, that is revenge porn, and he can go to jail for a very, very long time, or he can get hit with a charge. So if you've been in a situation where you've sent pics and it got out and it's being distributed, everyone who has that picture can be held liable. So always keep that in mind. One of the biggest things that I wish I would have known is, like, you have power as a young teenage girl. Use it. Do not be afraid to use your power, okay? So those are some preventative measures to take. Keeping your business to yourself, not sending pictures, knowing your power, knowing that you have rights. So now I want to talk about what to do after a sexual humiliation has happened and what steps you need to take. So first of all, do not hold yourself guilty for anything. You didn't do anything wrong. Like, sex is something that should never be weaponized against you. It's something that should never be seen as negative. So don't take it personal as if it's your fault. Like I said, people in high school are, I don't want to demonize high school students, but they're some of the most evil people I've ever come across. And because there are no real consequences, it's never really talked about, right? But when it comes to sexual humiliation, that is a very, very, very serious topic. And a lot of the time, sexual humiliation crosses the lines between sexual abuse and sexual harassment, right? And like I said, sexual abuse and sexual harassment does not always mean physical. It can simply be somebody taking a sexual interaction that you did with someone and spreading it around school. That is sexual abuse and sexual harassment, and I'm going to call it what it is. So the first things first, if you've experienced a situation where you've been sexually humiliated, you've sent a picture to a boy, and now he sends it all over the school, find the source. Always find the source. And I want you to go to the authorities. Go to your counselor, go to your teacher, go to your principal, go to the police, go to your parents. Because, guys, when I tell you, ladies, that is not okay. Sexual humiliation is so much different from regular humiliation and people bullying you, because it stays inside your body and it stays inside your nervous systems. So understand that you have power. And like I said, one of the biggest things that I look back on is I wish I would have held people more accountable. But a lot of the times when you're a teenager, you really don't know what's going on. You really are in this space of like, this is normal, or you just don't know what's happening to you. You don't have the words for it. But a lot of the times after you go through these disgusting, cruel experiences, it doesn't really hit you until you're my age or older, once you've been like a few years out of school. So yeah, guys, don't be afraid to tell a trusted adult. And another thing, do not internalize the pain. I know it hurts and I know it's humiliating, but that's the goal. If you remember what the goal is, you'll kind of be able to detach a little bit, because you'll realize, wait, they want me to feel like this. They do. These people who did this to you, they want you to feel low. They want you to feel disgusting. They want you to feel like you did something wrong. And it's terrible, you know? So yeah, just keep going, confront the issue, don't be afraid. And if you've ever experienced sexual humiliation, let's talk about it. Let's open up the discussion and let's move forward together. See you guys until the next video.